Hey, what's up, Ali? How's it going, man? Check our audio. Looks like it's working. Yep. Yeah, Ali, how you doing, man? Just finished the Fontaine Archon quest. Wait. What? What do you mean you just finished the Fontaine Archon quest? Like, you just finished it? Like, it's actually your first time playing through it? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the fact that you just finished your the Fontaine Archon quest, man. I'm laughing at the fact that you just finished the Fontaine Archon quest, but you've already skipped a few steps ahead. You've already you've already skipped a few steps ahead. Okay. So here's why I think you've already skipped a few steps ahead. So you've already gone and done like Genshin endgame stuff, like a bunch of times, a lot of times already. You're already doing a lot of like, like stuff that bored endgame players have done, and you've been doing it for a while now. And you've already gone through your like, if it was in real life, it would be something akin to like a midlife existential crisis, right? Like you've already quote unquote quit playing for some time and then like eventually came back. Like you've already gone through that, and you just finished your Fontaine Archon quest. I mean, by the time that most people typically get to the point where they quote unquote quit playing and then like get bored enough that they just come back to Genshin eventually. If not Genshin, then some other game. They've already done like everything in Genshin. Like they're already like 100% caught up in their quests and stuff. What were you expecting? I mean, like, okay, because of like whenever you talk to us about like Genshin stuff, right? When we talk to you about Genshin stuff, like you just seem like one of the guys. Like you just seem like one of the guys who's been playing Genshin for like 4+ years now, and you just don't seem like a quote unquote new-ish player anymore. Oh man. If only you could just get over here where the actual fight is actually happening. Jeez. Boss. This is still the dumbest weekly boss ever designed. I can't believe I'm actually having to go through this phase of this fight. This is stupid. Oh my god, Yulon can't even hit the... Yulon's skill can't even hit the bloody thing. So where is there an actual fight happening? Like outside the arena? I mean, I'm in here. I'm inside here, you know, like one of these days you're gonna come inside and actually do this stupid fight. Managed to do it with 2 seconds left. Not even close. My second and third accounts, Lava Dragon statue runs, like came down to like the last few milliseconds. Like it was like timer was 0 on both of them. And it's mostly has to do with Arlecchino, my Arlecchino on both of those accounts being on White Tassel. Stygian Codex buff doesn't last the whole duration in Mavuika burst, so most optimal thing do is use your skill in between. Use your skill in between to gain some Night Soul. Gain some Night Soul and activate the buff. Use my skill in the middle. I've never actually paid attention because like after you burst, you're just in your like bike mode or whatever it's called. So I've never actually paid attention to whether or not I can actually use my skill in the middle. And the main reason why I don't like ever pay attention to it is because I just if I use my skill in the middle, like I won't be able to easily tell. Oh my god, already? We're already in this kind of stupid attack. We're already going into the stupid attack phase where I'm not actually allowed to fight the bloody thing. Am I actually allowed to fight this thing? Like, is this supposed to be a boss fight? Or hide and seek? Yeah, so and I know like there are like plenty of like visually it's like really easy to tell visually like when you're in your burst like bike mode versus like hold E bike mode. Jeez. whatever. But I just don't want to bother, like, actually try harding. Like, paying attention to all the visual cues. Like, I'm just... And this is why this boss fight is so annoying to me. Is because I just refuse to turn my brain on for this boss fight. Because I just don't want to play Genshin that way. Genshin to me is like the kind of game where I just turn my brain off, and I, like, that's the thing. Like this is why I grind every day. This is why I, great, love it, love this boss. I love it when it does an attack where you can't actually do anything. You're just sitting there waiting for it to come out. I love it. Like, that's the reason why I do the daily, like, mindless grind. Right? Like, I log in, condense resin, use my resin, so that I can very gradually, like, increase the power level of my account, and it gets to the eventually it gets to the point where I just don't have to turn my brain on for it anymore. And that's okay. And and I don't mind if Genshin actually made, if Hoyo actually made Genshin to be a try-hard game. Right? If they actually made Genshin into to be a try-hard game, then I would actually try hard, because like I would actually play the game the way that it's intended to be played. But for so many years, they've just refused to give us like try-hard content. They've refused to give us optimal, like, stuff. Like, for example, okay, little details, right? Little details, like they haven't given us proper, like, block / parry characters in a really long time. They haven't really ever released like a single character that is kind of like Beidou or like Candace or Yunjin. I mean, like, sure, there are those characters, but like, what's the point of like parrying at the right time when they barely do any damage? It just feels satisfying, but it's not actually rewarding you for anything. And then there's this stupid attack that you're not supposed to dodge, because... Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about my new Yelan build. I had no idea that I could actually build my Yelan in such a way on this account. I had no idea that I actually had the right artifacts to build her in such a way, to give her such stats, but apparently I did. I was actually really happy. 230 ER on 71 160 230 ER. Why is... Oh yeah, okay, Zalone and C2, right. I believe I had like 31k HP. It's not a lot, but it's at least it's not below 30k HP. The 230 ER is what I'm the happiest about, and that's on Elegy. So like on Elegy, 230 ER is like easy, just two E's, two Yelan E's, like catch her own particles, and then like full burst, regardless of whether or not I kill enemies. Like, I get white particles from like killing enemies and whatever. Eating ice cream. I'll be back in a few minutes. Hey, nice. By the time you get back, I'll probably still be redoing this stupid boss fight over and over again until it actually gives me good, stupid RNG. Because this game is all about RNG, and there's just nothing consistent about this. Oh, brilliant. Love it. Love this boss fight. So are we supposed to be able to dodge that attack? Because it seems like it's too long for like anyone's like burst animation to be able to like iframe for the whole duration. You know, from what I remember, the actual optimal like attack pattern that I'm supposed to do with Mavuika is like what's it called? Charged attack, dash, normal attack, and then charged attack. Like I'm supposed to like leave a gap in between. Right, like I'm supposed to do a normal attack before my next charge attack, and that's supposed to leave me with enough time like that it allows my next charge attack to vape. But I just like I heard it from somewhere, and then I tried to like put the effort in for like a second, and I was like, oh, there's no way this is happening for me. So I just didn't bother. You're frustrated right now. Perhaps you should do other tasks before coming back to this. No, dude, that's not me. That is not how I do things. Yeah, CA-NA. Really hard on mobile. Yeah, I can't, dude. I can't imagine doing that on mobile. That's not how I do things, man. When something is stupid, right? It's like, if it's hard, then I'll just keep doing it until like I get better at it. But if it's something like random stuff like RNG, like, and it's just like stupid game design, like that was the Natlan stupid dragon weekly boss. The more frustrated I get, the more I bang my head against it until it just breaks. So here in the Philippines, I don't know why we do it this way, but like, so like the way that we locally say like, so yeah, we no, a sort of like local slang for somebody who's stubborn is like somebody has a hard head, and I have no idea why we do it that way. But we say that you're so stubborn, or like you have a hard head, and I guess that's literally like the same for me. Because I'm so stubborn that like my head is so hard that whatever stupid thing it is that I'm dealing with, I'm just gonna keep bashing my head against it, even though I clearly have other stuff to do, right? Like I could always just go back to that thing, whatever that stupid thing is that I'm doing. But no, I won't. I just keep bashing my head against it until it's finished. 100k. Well, it is a C1 Nivelette with his signature, C2 Farina, C2 R1 Zelonin. So, and you know, I was a little confused. Like, so Kazuha died, and so from what I understand, that even if I did swirl on Kazuha, right, like I procced the VV. Like, isn't that supposed to, like, isn't the effect of that supposed to go away, including Kazuha's damage percent passive, because he died? So I was actually kind of surprised that I still got, like, 100k there per tick. I don't think I should have, well, what's it called? Use someone's burst there. I think it was, Escoffier burst, yeah. I thought I saw, like, a rift thing over here. Oops. I pressed and not held. Throw buff decrease resistance to enemies, so it's not related to him after he dies. Or Kaza buff, I'm not quite sure. Okay, well. Well, I guess the VV sounds like it makes sense that it would stay even after the one who procced it died. I guess that makes sense. I hate Skirk and design, story, gameplay, and kit design. Hate everything about her? Really? Okay. So what about her kit that you don't like? I mean, I know there's like plenty of stuff to hate about it, but like you personally, like what do you hate about it personally? Oh my god, isn't this boss is supposed to be designed for Skirk, right? Like it's meant to make players who pull for Skirk feel good, like when they use Skirk while fighting this boss. Why does this boss move around so much when like Skirk is clearly a character designed to like just keep going ham, right? Like she's clearly not a very like mobile kind of damage dealer. Oh, you know what? I did not ever pay attention to this, but apparently these guys get like a pretty big a lot of resistance. Oh wait, what? Did the like? Huh? Are they not just? Are they just able? No. Are they just not able to revive each other anymore after you kill the other? Like a certain number of times? Because I think I killed the queen like 3 times there, And it didn't look like the king. The king just kept attacking me. It didn't look like he could revive her anymore or something. Ruined my experience of playing. Root of hate is because of her. They added that stupid boss, and then put in every end game. Then the hate just expanded. I mean, honestly, I don't see like why you would hate this end game. Honestly, it's finally something to do. And it's now okay. The part that I don't hate about anything about it now. But the part that I do hate about it, that I can see myself hating about it in the future, is this is clearly on a cycle, right? And as they've done with Abyss, and obviously Theater, which is still a piece of trash game mode, by the way. They're gonna change that basically every cycle to to fit exactly which characters are being released and or reran per cycle. And the problem with that is if you miss out on certain characters, then you just won't enjoy yourself anymore. Especially with these hyper specialized enemies that they've been releasing recently. Right? The enemies that are just so stupid to deal with, so annoying to deal with, like, and are just so unsatisfying to play against if you do not have a specific character and or specific like a specific character and their like Hoyo's intended team for them. Like okay, good example of that. So obviously Papilla boss, right? That was so obviously there are plenty of good examples before the Papilla boss. Okay, like this thing, right? Now at the very least, even if you don't have like characters that can climb, it's like phlogiston pillars or whatever. You don't have Mavuika, Zelonin. I guess the thing is like everyone will have Kachina because like she's like a free 4-star, but like not everyone is gonna want to use her. And you're essentially just like whatever team you plan on using, you're very likely ruining your team synergy because now you suddenly have to replace one of your team members with Kachina just so you can climb that pillar, right? But at the very least, you can. There is at least a way to circumvent it. Like for example, if you have Kazo on the team, you can just like hold E and get up and whatever. If you have Zhongli, you can just use Zhongli's pillar to climb, whatever, right? Like there are at least a couple of ways to go around it. But oh boy, like when they released Papilla, the Papilla boss, that was really when it got just annoying. Multiple hit characters. Yeah, like that's the thing though. Like, what if you're not running a team that does multiple hits? What if you want to use a Navia team? Right? What if Navia is your favorite? What if you're not Navia is your favorite character and you want to use a Navia team? Navia teams typically don't do a lot of hits. Without any help. Yeah, but that's the thing though. That wasn't part of how it was designed. Right? If Hoyo actually didn't mess up with its design, then that exploit wouldn't be there at all. And you would then be severely limited in your team options that you could actually use against this thing. Right? That wasn't an intended design. That was clearly a design flaw on Hoyo's part that they just decided to leave in. Rapid attacking characters and can clear the papilla. Yeah, but then again, like I said, you can't. You still now you're locked into using these specific characters. Specific characters that do a lot of hits. And then there's the lava dragon statue. At the very least, like the wayward, whatever it is, whatever this thing is, like at least like you just need a bunch of pyro for it, not an insanely amount, not an insane amount of pyro, right? But you just need a bunch of pyro, not like uh, not like an ocean of pyro, right? But like the lava dragon statue, boy, that's it's I don't even know, man. I guess like Kinich. It's literally made for Kinich. This thing made to sell Kinich and Emilie, who otherwise would have been completely useless. I mean, they're not terrible characters. Emilie is actually a pretty well balanced character. Like her multipliers are well balanced. Like they're not too high that they'll carry the whole team, and they're not too low that she deals an insignificant amount of damage in 2025. She's just right. But the problem with her being balanced is that her having a balanced set of multipliers is that there are characters that don't have a balanced set of multipliers. So you would rather get those characters instead of the character who actually has a balanced set of multipliers. Speaking of Auron, I might like sooner or later I might have to actually erase him. I just don't want to because I don't know. I just don't see any reason to because he is a burst reliant character, which means I'm gonna have to actually build him with ER on a 60 burst cost. And he doesn't even, while he doesn't do, yeah, at least, like, he doesn't do an insignificant amount of damage. But him being a 4-star means that his base stats are just not very high. Plus his quote unquote 4-star multipliers means that he just doesn't do an amount of damage that makes him worth like building to try to do damage. Or on ER requirements quite low. Yeah, because like you're quite likely to put him in an electro charge team, and electro charge teams do a lot of elemental reactions, which also do generate a lot of particles, right? But what if you're not running him in an electro charge team? What if you're just running him in a team because you need an extra electro? Right? I just don't use electro charge teams. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned I might have to raise him sooner or later because apparently there is a I don't know if it's a world boss or like there's a boss, whatever kind of boss it is. Apparently there's a boss that's coming that is very very electro charge centric, like designed around electro charged. Along with Fab Proc can get his burst on cooldown. Yeah, but then that's the thing though. Isn't that the same for like every other 4-star? Right? Isn't that the same for every other 4-star? Like, okay, 4 stars that I've raised that do something. Okay. So, Charlotte. Why did I even build Charlotte? Oh yeah, that's right. That was like for a freeze team from like way back in the day. She was her job was to replace Rosaria in my Ganyu freeze team, and it was to max out Frina Fanfare because she's actually a decent like healer. And I did not want to raise Mika just for that. Okay, what else? Dahlia. Okay, doesn't do any damage, but he does give you an attack speed, and he gives you a shield, which enables Calamity Veshu. So he does something. Kujusara gives you a significant attack buff, albeit only for 6 seconds, and not as high as the Bennett attack buff, but hey, it's something. Right? It allows for... It is one of the ride and hyper carry team options. Right? Fischl. It's Fischl. She does damage. She does a lot of damage. I'm complaining because Auron doesn't do anything. He just applies Electro. In that case, like, I'd rather have Fischl doing personal damage. Like, the only... Oh, hey, what's up, Wrong? How's it going, man? Yeah, like, the only reason I could think of why I would ever put Auron on my team is if I somehow... Like, right now, I don't have Sitlali. And if I somehow want to run Mavuika in an overload team... and obviously I can't run her with Zalonin, an overload team, because like Chivros is gonna most likely be in there. So and like somehow I can't use Fischl. Yeah, like that's the only time I will ever see myself actually needing Auron. Right, because like Auron could help. Yeah, Auron's like one of the few pyro / electro characters that we have that can like help Mavuika with fighting spirit. Like when Iansan got released, I was like, okay, well, no reason to raise Auron anymore. Just use him for energy generation, and there's Cinder City proc for my Nivelette. Yeah, like that's yeah, that's the thing. Like he just doesn't do anything. Like he does have the thing like that is part of his kit, where he, I guess, like sort of buffs Electrocharged. And okay, sure. The on the way Electrocharged, the Electrocharged quote unquote buff that is like on the way might make people maybe even me including me reconsider my thoughts on Auron. Right? Maybe who knows? Right? But that's because they're designing an enemy that is just so stupid to fight without Electrocharged. And the thing is too is like there's already there has already been a really good Electrocharge team, even from like way back in the day, like on day 1 of Genshin. Right? And it's like I don't know how Hoyo's gonna do it, but I'm sure Hoyo's gonna find a way to make Sucrose Taser completely useless against whatever this new stupid Electrocharged boss they're gonna be releasing soon. Right? I'm sure they're gonna find a way to make the OG Taser team or any other Taser team that doesn't have Inifa in it completely just annoying to play against this new Electrocharge centric boss that they're releasing soon. You know, Oh, hey, what's up, Shinrin? How you doing, man? He jumps high. You have no idea how invaluable he is to every team. You have no idea how insane his high jump is. It's so powerful. Oh, yeah, sure. Sure it is. New boss effect. If Enifa is in the team, damage dealt plus 50,000%. Nope, that's 500,000%. My Iferon? What is Iferon, Shinrin? Plus that 5k extra damage by him is always useful. Oron can jump high. That's all that matters. But so can sit lolly. All I'm saying is Electro Charge boss is way better than the stupid freeze boss. Well, it's better, like, from your perspective, because you probably, yeah, well, you have Auron. You've raised them, you've leveled them up, and you probably have, like, a bunch of other, like, Electro Charge characters, right? And, I guess, like, for me, even if I didn't get Escoffier and, Skirk, I still had a bunch of cryo characters. So in my case, like, yeah, I clearly did not have any issue with the cryo boss, with the secret source cryo, whatever it's called. Because for some reason, even though cryo was like had gone obsolete for years, I still I still kept raising cryo characters. I mean, because like a lot of them are actually really good. Like, yeah, Rosaria, for example. Rosaria is really good. Charlotte was good for a time. In fact, like if I didn't have Escoffier, I would probably still be using Charlotte. Like mostly in a freeze team. Mostly in a freeze team to help Farina like stack fanfare. Orin was given to us for everyone for free. His cons don't matter. The cryo boss ended up being the only boss I could clear on menacing. Menacing. Oh, menacing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't care about like the difficulty names. Cause sorry, man. I just haven't cared about Hoyo's like naming stuff. Like the way that they name stuff. I haven't cared about it at all for quite some time now. Like they try to give stuff names in the game. Names that like just seem so pointless. Other than to like to pretend to make people feel like, oh, this is in like Tevat's lore or whatever. I forgot which number it was. Yeah, that's alright. It's alright. Extra Charge boss also has very cool design. I haven't actually seen what it looks like. I keep hearing cactus. That's all I'm hearing. I keep hearing the word cactus being thrown around. New boss will be the only boss. My Ifa. Who's Ifa? Oh yeah, Ifa. Okay. Bro. Ifa. Yep. The guy that apparently sounds like me. Oh, there's an event. Is it? I don't remember. Isn't this the combat event? What did I need to use my resin for again? I guess nothing. Sure. Do I need to condense? 3.5. Let's see, that would be 10, 9:30. No. No need to condense. I will, however, have to go talk to Catherine. Cool cactus, cool mechanic. Possible win. Possible with other characters rather than Skirk. You seem real salty about the cryo boss, man. I mean, like you could deal with the cryo boss with your all like, dude. We have a bunch of cryo characters in the game. Uh, hmm. Let's see. So every time I think about like free to play cryo character, like Rosaria is like the first thing. Like Rosaria immediately comes to mind, but like when I start thinking about like, are there actually more? I can't actually think of any more. I guess Diona's good too, but like not necessarily freeze. Like like C6 Diona is like a very melt-ish kind of thing. Hmm. Rosaria. Aloy. Sorry, excuse me. Layla doesn't do anything. I guess there's Farina. Well, I don't know about free to play, but I mean, technically you can get a 5-star as a free to play. Charlotte's pretty good too. Doesn't do any damage, but she does heal a good amount. C6 Kaya. C6 Kaya is not a free to play 4-star, man. C6 Kaya is not a free to play character. C6 Kaya might as well be C6 5-star. His constellations are so rare. I heard Nodcry Noel will be a shielder, which is perfect for Aoife. Do not get knocked off Kakuku. Shinran, you 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 certainly have you certainly like once you're locked into a character, you are locked in. Like with Lisa, right? And now with or no, Aoife. Like really random characters that are like far from the most optimal in their niche. And just I mean, I don't know, man. I just cannot imagine myself ever deciding to use Aoife. Especially not when there like sucrose exists. 99% sure Skirk cannot deal with the cactus boss. Well, I imagine so, because like if it's an electro charge boss, then like Cryo's not gonna do anything too good. Diona is so gonna clear that boss. Spoiler, I don't have Diona. One good cryo character other than Escoffier and Skirk. Risley might be the only one. I mean, like even Risley is. Risley is just Oh man, I could be wrong about this, but like, is Risley like harder to use than Hu Tao? I feel like he is. But then again, like I never really bothered to actually learn how to play him because well, I don't have him. So I've really only ever played him like a trial version of him. Risley C1's pretty good, I heard. He's actually good at C1. So wrong. You've explained his C1 to me so many times already. I'm not even gonna ask anymore. But good electro characters. Fischl. That's it. Fischl's like the only character that comes to mind. I mean, like, obviously, well, okay, you know what? I was about to say Raiden Shogun, and then I thought, wait, no, that's C2 Raiden Shogun, which is not a free-to-play character. Oh. Hmm. At least this good character is a 4-star. I mean, Rosaria, right? Like I already mentioned, Rosaria is the good cryo character. She gives crit rate. She does a decent amount of personal damage, and like her AOE is decent. Don't have a cryo DPS. He can suffice, I guess, the cryo boss. You mean Risley? Noelle AI? Are you referring to Nefa? Because she's a robot? Is Nefa a robot, or is she just like... Does she just like have Does she just have what's it called, like cyberpunk-ish kind of implants? Noel's job was stolen by AI. Okay. What is all this talk about Nod Cry Noelle, AI Noelle? Is it because Nefa is a maid? I just, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, like, why are people calling her Noelle? Hang on. What is she? I have like a vague image of her in my head, but I don't have like a very clear picture of her in my memory. Okay. Well, she does look like her hairstyle is uncannily similar to Noelle's, I guess. And I guess because she is a robot, so she looks like she's wearing armor. Like she looks like she's padded out in armor, like Noelle. Like, is that why people are calling her Noelle? Oh, imagine, is the cactus worse than that cryo boss? Probably. Who knows? I don't know how it works. I shan't forget the original maid. I'm actually torn between Nod Cry, Noelle, and Emilie. Emilie might not have a rerun again in the near future, given how niche and unpopular she is. She might get drafted to the Fontaine family banner. That is actually, yeah, that is entirely possible. That is entirely possible. I mean, like, why would you want to get Emilie, though? Like, I'm not saying she's a bad character. She's just, I think she has a really nicely balanced Like she has really nicely balanced like multipliers, and her gameplay loop is like it's really simple, right? Like her field time is very short because she does very little. And not that like she does very little damage, right? Like she literally does one thing, which is just to do personal damage. She does a thing with burning as well, but right, like her kit is very simple, so the way we should play her should also be very simple, and the two match, right? And she like and her multipliers aren't like so low that you just don't want to use her. She clearly has 5-star multipliers, and but she's not like broken. Like she won't be able to carry an entire side of Abyss, right? Like you have to use her with other characters that also deal damage, and I think she is mathematically really balanced. The problem with that is there. The problem with that is in Genshin there are a bunch of characters that just aren't mathematically balanced, that just have way too much multipliers, right? And I like so because those characters exist, why would you get the character that has lower numbers instead, right? For the same amount of primo gems. Cause she got a what? Vacuum cleaner? What do you mean? She looks like Noelle. Those eyes, face cut, body shape. I mean, like I'm looking at a picture of her right now. I'd like okay, body shape. Yeah, sure. That is very much Noelle's like. The the face too, the face and the hair, and like her robotic features kind of just look like armor, which Noelle also wears. I guess maybe that's why. So AI Noelle, like, what is she? Is she like, is she a robot? Is she supposed to be a robot, or is she just like a human that has like cybernetic implants?
この同点も華やいできましたね。この情景を目にできて感慨深いです。
Really hope I win it Lolly and her signature. Oh, signature, man. From what I remember, her signature is actually quite good on her, and she doesn't have a lot of good F2P options. That's what I hear. And I keep hearing about how TTDS isn't very good on her because rotation is kind of cringe. Like there just isn't like a good rotation that works that works for Sitlali TTDS. Also kind of want to try Emilie melt with Chongyun. What? Sorry, what? Emilie melt with Chongyun, Dia, and Baiju. Oh my god, Shinrin. You gotta stop using these really weird teams, man. I mean, okay. You know what? That statement was wrong. You don't have to. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I did not. What? I didn't do my daily check-in yesterday. Why didn't I? It's so weird.
は天上の存在だが、たまには地上を歩き回るべきだな。
慣れない土地では地元のガイドはやっぱり道に迷わないのに影響してしまう。テントの際って言えるかな。
Okay, here we go. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just condense one. After suffering so much in Onslaught, I finally managed to put 270 ER in Bennett. 270? Why do you need 270? I mean, I didn't do very well, obviously, but like, I made do with I made do with this Bennett. It wasn't great. Definitely could have been better, but it wasn't too bad. Bennett, Zelonan, Sitlali, what's the problem? Am I missing something? Yeah, me too. Right? Like that's the thing that I'm missing. Cause like, okay, right? Like in a Mavuika team, for example, right? So Mavuika E into Bennett, burst, right? Because and I think what's happening is I think what most people are doing is they are swapping to Bennett last because Bennett's burst. Because Bennett's burst in that team is not the shortest buff, but it is one of the shorter buffs, and I think that's why most people are swapping to Bennett last. I think that's why. Like for me, I'm prioritizing like smoothness of rotations. So most of the time, even though like I'm really only like most of the time I'm only buffing Mavuika for like half of her like field time. At the very least, I am buffing the initial hit, and I'm buffing like half of my time spent doing donuts. And so I am prioritizing like smoother rotation. So what I do is like I Mavuika E into Bennett burst so that I catch Mavuika's particles onto Bennett, and then I go Zelonan because the enemy will have Pyro by then to like trigger Cinder City and do Zelonan's thing. And then I would swap to my fourth character. In this team's case, I don't have Silali, so I have Yelan. Right, and then like for me that would work. Right, Sitlali TTDS. Why would you swap to Bennett last? That just sounds like lost particles. Yeah, I know, right? I know. But I think why people are swapping to Bennett last is so that they are able to have Mavuika be like get the attack buff for her entire like field time duration, and not just half the duration and the initial burst. For me, honestly, I don't mind it because like by the time that I'm like halfway through her field time, I'm already like missing a bunch of vapes, right? Because like it's likely, not all the time, it's not guaranteed, but like it's likely that like the enemy that I'm fighting against doesn't have cryo or hydro on it anymore, so I'm not even losing that much damage anymore. Doesn't melt every hit anyway. Yeah, right. Like, it's like, and that's sort of like my mindset. I'm sure like mathematically, you and I are probably wrong, right? And like it's probably more optimal to swap to Bennett last. But just the convenience, man. Like the particles, like the energy on Bennett. Not everyone can have 270 ER on Bennett. Zilonen, Bennett, Sitlali. That's the rotation. Well, AI is just bait. She's for Electro Charge team. Oh yeah, that's right, Ali. Earlier, I saw your message that said where you said Inefa is just bait for a stronger support in the future, and that has been the case several times already. I can't name exact example, like too many exact examples, but from what I remember, isn't Emilie literally one of those? Right, like I don't remember when Emilie came out, but like from as far as I remember, Emilie came out right at the end of the Fontaine arc. Oops.
炎を灯した者がそれを御せなかった。
Come on, heal. Very nice. Thank you. Ow. Okay, can I hit you now, please? Jeez. Whatever, I'm gonna stop doing these like animation cancels. I'm just gonna spam donuts. And Mavuika died again, of course, because this is just a great weekly boss fight. Great. And this thing's gonna get up now. Yep, of course. Mathematically, we should not be wasting our time playing this game. Amen to that, man. Amen to that. We go to 300 ER a minute, main stat, doesn't matter. Sloan can heal. Oops. Zelonan, Bennett, Sitlali. Why is Zelonan, Bennett, Sitlali? Like, I don't see. Is it to give Mavuika more Bennett buff time? Peasant peasant trying to catch particles on Bennett. Looks like somebody doesn't have 270 ER. Has the longest buff, so more Bennett buff, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the only advantage about it. Well, hey, you know, you gotta make compromises. And that is the compromise that I'm willing to make. I'm willing to compromise on Bennett's buff uptime for Mavuika. Because I don't have the stats for it. I don't have the stats to... I don't have the privilege of having the stats to be able to do the quote-unquote more optimal rotation. The optimal rotation for me is just the rotation that helps me rotate through my abilities smoothly. Like, for example, I have never seen anyone rotate through this specific team the way I do. Like, Nivelet E into Farina Burst. I've never seen anyone rotate that way before on this specific team. And for me, that the only reason I even rotate that way is to help to make sure that I'm able to Farina burst every rotation easily.
落日は全ての始まりに過ぎぬ。
Gives Farina particles. Yeah, right? It's just I've never seen anyone do it before, but it is like it is like economical. E Farina Q, that's the standard rotation. Rotation is Nebula E Farina Q, standard rotation. What do you mean you don't know how I read it? Read what? I can't even remember like what rotation people do in this Nebula team. But they seem to burst to use Farina burst like almost at the end of the rotation. I think, yeah, that's the only part that I remember, because I think I saw Zajef doing it like multiple times too, not just once but multiple times. And from what I like, I specifically remember, what the, where's my freeze team all the way over here? So I specifically remember like him using Farina burst at the very end, like not the very last thing, but like one of the last things that he does in the rotation. And I specifically remember that because I was thinking, I guess he's doing that for like an extra long rotation. Like it's a really long, like 25 to 30 second rotation or something. Why would you do that? That's less fanfare. I think yeah, and I think the reason is that he's gonna go for like a really long rotation. Can I get some particles, please?
これよりエンペルは断罪の始末。
様のお告げです。舞台効果も大切よ。目にキス。ちょっとまたセリフを忘れた。
どうするの？
世界の熱狂の渦に遠くを冷凍の時間。舞台はまだ終わってないわ。道あふれよ。
君のために踊ろうクイーン。この舞台の幕を下ろそう。
よし。
Rotation is Nebula E, Farina E, Q, EQ, Zelonin, QE, then Kazuha E. Sometimes actually Zelonin burst to end rotation. Farina QE, because by now should be half HP and receive 1 tick. Zelonin, Kazuha E. I've been enjoying playing the Nebula Mavuika dual DPS team. How does it play? This domain needs a freeze team. How Albedo and Traveler defeated this boss in story. It's a story? Plot armor. Yep, plot armor. They didn't do this quest. Yeah, it's a story, so of course they're gonna clear it. And they lived happily ever after.
Sukonari.
260 ER. No 40k HP. Yeah, this is still my Onslaught build. What? Hey, what? Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I forgot this is my third account, or second account. No double Elegy on this one. If you run C6 Huta, C6 Kuki, C6 Barbara, you can actually clear that boss with just the Albedo assists. Wait, what? C6 Hutao, C6 Kuki, C6 Barbara. Am I missing something? I feel like there's a joke here somewhere. So C6 Hutao has the anti-die thing. Same with Kuki. Barbara has the revive. Am I missing something? What's up, Blue? How you doing, man? Are you P2P? What the heck is P2P? Pay to play? Peer to peer? I'm gonna assume it's pay to play, because like okay, that abbreviation doesn't work in Genshin, because like you don't have to pay to play Genshin. It's a free to play game. So I'm guessing what you mean is, are you a spender? Just plain and simple. I buy the Welkin for my first account. Welkin, and recently Battle Pass. Recently the Battle Pass. Oops, that hurt. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt a lot. That almost hit me. It works good again. The recent 3 little guys. 3 little guys before boss Mavuika Q. Kills them instantly, so start attacking the boss with Nubila instantly. What do you mean 3 little guys? Little guys where? Why not just ask if he spends? Yeah, I know, right? Hey, at least you lengthened the conversation, you know? Like otherwise what else would we be talking about? And Abyss is 3 little guys before that boss. Is it? I believe there are 2 chambers in Abyss right now that has 3 little guys before a boss. There's the one with there's the 3 like spinning robots like in chamber 3 before the dancing robot bosses. And then there's also the one the pyro, no, there's like the dendro fat Natlan boss. Yeah. And right before him are 3 Yumkasaurs. The fat hamster. I love that name. I love it. Fat hamster. I'm gonna call it that from now on, as long as I can remember. I want to see how that person finishes the end game in only 4 seconds or something. Sorry, which person, Luap? Who? I got C6 Chevrolet, but I couldn't utilize their C6. You know, me too, actually. I'm sure I probably, like, when Chevrus was released, I'm sure I probably read through her kit and I probably found out that, like, oh, cool, if you got C6 Chevrus, you burst, that means you can E, like, 3 times, and, like, cool. And then, like, it's, like, I just completely forgot about it until recently. I actually only very recently remembered that if you have C6 Chevrus, is it C6? I don't remember. I don't actually remember. Which constellation was it? C4? Yeah. It's a C4. So it's like C4. Like you after using the it's C6? 12 seconds healing effect. Members, give it 10% assurance. Healed. No, this is the just additional damage, isn't it? No. I was talking about what I was talking about. Okay, sorry. I misunderstood what Stella said. I misunderstood. I was thinking about like the whole like burst on Chevrus before using E, because if you QE instead of EQ, what happens is you're able to press E 3 times in a row. Yeah, so I misunderstood what she said. Triple E is a useless enemy, it just extends rotations. Yeah, but it helps you with the Lava Dragon statue, man. Helps you out quite a lot with the Lava Dragon statue. If you're not using burning against that thing, then yeah, you get whatever little pyro hit that you can get from anywhere. So, Stella, what did you mean by you can't, like, utilize her C6? What's wrong? Saw a leaderboard of people, runtime of the endgame, and top 20 are insane. Are you talking about, Luep, are you talking about the, like, the highest dire difficulty? Dude, the... So, I understand that, like, the highest dire difficulty now is supposed to be for whales only. But, like, I see runs of actual whales, and they just, it's the same. It's basically the same thing as Abyss or any other endgame in the game. It's just like, okay, by the time that you've figured out, oh, they're using this team, and then you're like, you're for 2 seconds into the video, you're like, huh, this is a slightly unusual team. Like, I understand it's a Mavuika team, but then, like, why is Ayaka in it? It's an Arlecchino team, why is Ayaka in it, or whatever, right? Like, you're confused. Like, by the time that you've started thinking about, like, their synergies, the run is done. They're finished doing the run, and then the screen just fades to black. It's not C6 that's about using her skill 2 or 3 times with no cooldown. Oh yeah, okay. So if you were talking about that, then that was C4, Stella. C4. The people using cheats. People, you what? Wait, for what? Cheats for what? Ali EQ Mavuika W. Oh yeah, okay. Speaking of Citlali, I have recently, I believe just yesterday, I spent a couple of minutes. I spent a couple of minutes trying to get a build ready for my Citlali, and like ever since she came out, and ever since I realized that I needed her to bring out Mavuika's full potential, I've kind of just like never actually thought about like what artifact set I was gonna give her. I always kind of just thought like, oh, just put Cinder City on her and she'll be fine. So like I never ever thought about like actually farming for an artifact set for her until I believe it was yesterday, or if not yesterday, then it was probably the other day, that I realized, well, my Zelonin already has Cinder City. So that's not gonna work. So I kind of thought, well, I guess I could swap my Zelonin to, I could swap Zelonin over to Instructor. I kind of thought, well, if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to max out her signature weapons buff. I might be able to come close, but my problem is I don't have a raised like defense instructor set. I'm sure I probably have the pieces for it because I've been locking instructor pieces for quite some time now, but I just don't want. I don't know. Like I haven't taken a look at it, and I thought, well, maybe I could put Citlali on instructor. And then I thought, well, from what I understand, Citlali does need to burst every rotation to get the off-field cryo application. And having a 4-star set means that it's going to be a lot harder to reach her ER requirements. And I thought, well, what if I put... And then I just ran out of ideas. And then I started looking into the different domains, tried to see like, so you know, just to remind me of like what all the different support artifact sets did. And so at some point I came up with Petra. Is it Archaic Petra? Or Bolide, I don't remember. One of the Liyue sets. One of these two. I think it's Petra. Oh yeah, it is Petra. Yeah. So the sets that I came up with were Petra, this thing, right? But I would have to like, once I swapped to Citlali, I'd have to like sprint or something like to make sure I pick up a pyro crystallized particle, and then I kind of thought, well, doesn't Zelonin already give damage percent? No, sorry, excuse me, not Zelonin. Cinder City. Cinder City already gives me damage percent. And I thought, okay, I guess it's okay because it's just 2 sources of damage percent, so it's not gonna get to the point of diminishing returns just yet, so it should be fine. And then I thought, okay, Millilith. Right, what about Millilith? Like, just give Mavuika more attack. And then at some point, I thought about the instructor thing, right? Like, that's the instructor thing. I think... Why geo damage bonus to Setlali? Because the 4-piece buff? Yes, that is correct, Stella. Because of the 4-piece buff. Does Setlali E deal damage? I don't think so. Honestly, I was... So I went on Keqing Main's website to look up what their guide said, like what their recommendation of like building Setlali. Anyone using Google and still have ad blocker working? Luap, mine just stopped working. I believe yesterday, or was it 2 days? No, 3 days ago. Yeah, mine finally just stopped working 2 or 3 days ago. Sag. Hey Luap, are you still on Discord? Are you still on our Discord server? I don't know. I don't want to talk about it here. I can't talk about it here. About the whole thing we were just talking about just now. Yeah. If you are, let me know. Wait, I think we have DM'd each other. Yeah, I think we do have a conversation. I could be wrong. I'm just my brain, man. I never or barely use Discord. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I wanted to like DM you something about that because I can't talk about it here. I'm not supposed to be promoting this stuff. Hey, what's up, Abstract? Oh, Abstract, good to see you, man. Good to see you. How you been? Haven't seen you in quite some time. Petra is so cancer to work with. Yeah. Tenacity was the other set that I came up with. So it was either Instructor, Tenacity, or Petra. Those were my 3 options. And my problem again with Instructor is it's gonna be really, really hard to reach Setlali's ER requirements with Instructor. So what I was gonna have to do is I was gonna have to put Setlali on Cinder City and Zelonin on Instructor because I don't need to burst every rotation on Zelonin. In fact, I actually don't want to burst on Zelonin because it's just healing, and I don't like. I would prefer not to have to spend like 1 or 2 seconds in a 5-star burst animation that I don't really need. So. And then I thought, okay, like I wouldn't mind sacrificing a little bit of the Peak Patrol songs buff. But my problem with it is that I use Zelonin with Neuvillette so frequently. And obviously Instructor is not gonna work. Not gonna do anything for him. Which means every time I use my Neuvillette team, I'm gonna have to go in there and swap builds and swap Zelonin's build every time. And I thought, oh man, I don't want to do that. So anyway, what I eventually decided on was Millilith. That's not Millilith. Millilith. So what I eventually decided on was for Millilith. Because and obviously I'm not gonna farm the Millilith domain, right? I'm just gonna strongbox it. So going Millilith for me is good value because I have also been recently considering 4-piece Millilith Farina for my Escoffier, for my Skirk team. Yeah, and I don't like my Skirk team right now doesn't really need anything anymore. Like like my Skirk team is doing plenty damage already, as it is now. But I feel like both Escoffier and Farina on Golden Troop is like, I mean, I could have at least one of them on an actual support set and be getting a little more DPS out of this team. Four-piece buff, good for Salali. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is actually why Farina, or sorry, not Farina. In fact, even some people, there are even some people who use, who put 4 Millilith on Fischl. Skirk, unless your Skirk has constellations, I highly discourage it. You lose DPS. Oh, I see. I see. All right. All right. Well, I haven't even tried it yet. I literally just started what's the word? Strong boxing yesterday. In fact, I don't even have like an actual build for any of my Setlalis. Like, look at this, right? Like, and you know, I was so confused between like trying to build Sitlali to do damage and just not caring at all. Cause so from what I understand, her shield scales off of EM. And I guess having a strong shield would be nice, but for the longest time now, I've been running Mavuika with no shield, and I've been fine. Mostly. I've been mostly fine. So, I really only need Sitlali's off-field cryo application. That's really all I need from her. So, I didn't even mind. Like, I don't know, man. I don't even know what stats I should give my Sitlali. Ideally, I would want my Sitlali to do some damage, right? Ideally, but I just started building her, so I'm not gonna have the stats for that. Where did I put it again? Catalyst user, either Barbara or Lisa. Probably Lisa. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so look at this build, man. Oh, God. So, that's not enough ER. I need a little bit more. I need probably like another 20. I hate farming artifacts. Isn't Cinder the set to go? Cinder City, yes. But because I already have Cinder City on Zelonin, it doesn't work. They don't stack. Right? So I might as well have my Setlali on some other set. Anyway, here's the set that I put together. I didn't bother leveling up the circlet because it's a whatever circlet. Just to complete the set. Oh man. What was it again? Tenacity, yeah, there it is. Right, like literally hydro damage and dendro damage goblet. So like I was like, okay, just off piece the goblet and do a whatever circlet. Like sooner or later we'll get one. Yeah, like it's whatever. It's something. But instructor buff window is so short. That is true. That is true. And if I put instructor on Zelonin, that would mean that I would have very little uptime on instructor buff by the time that I get to Mavuika. At the very least though, like I'm sure instructor buff will probably still be up. Will probably still be up by the time that I do Mavuika's initial burst hit. But not much more than that. Maybe Mavuika E. Zelonen. Sorry, what? We ever tested it. Said Lali E actually deals off-field deals damage off-field because it's not tenacity. If it's not oh oh no. From what I understand, it does do damage. Because if it didn't do damage, in fact, like go like look up Sitlali KQM, right? Because like KQM, you mean like I mean like Keqing mains, their website. At least you gave your Lisa artifacts. I didn't bother with mine. Those aren't Lisa's artifacts, Wayne. Those aren't Lisa's artifacts. Sitlali KQM. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. So okay, Keqing mains like actual website, not just like Wikipedia, but like their website. So if I click on where is it? Artifacts. Yeah, there it is. Artifact sets. There you go. Yeah, artifact sets. One. So their top choice is 4 Cinder City, and their second choice is 4 Noblesse or 4 Tenacity. Or sorry, what? Did I say tenacity? What is tenacity again? Oh yeah, isn't that it? Like tenacity middleweight? Oh, it is tenacity. Yeah, yeah. For tenacity. So either 4 noblesse or 4 tenacity. And then like their third option was 4 Petra. And then after that is instructor. Okay, so the fact that this is on Keqing mains means that it probably works. Means that her off-field cryo app probably does damage. I was to put Bene at the end. Maybe that's why people were saying Sitlali TTDS is tough. Sorry, what did you mean by rotation on it? Rotation of E, Sloan, and Lali Bennett. So why would the rotation have Bennett at the end? Read the rest of the first message. Oh yeah, there's not tenacity won't work. Thinking Cinders, Lonin, Bennett instructor, lining a bus. I think I've heard someone mention that before, where they ran Bennett on instructor and Sitlali on noblesse. I think I've heard someone mention that before. That's rough. Bennett instructor Q will melt Sitlali, so trigger instructor and Mavuika burst. That sounds rough. That sounds really rough. Mavuika's dead. Nope. Mavuika's still alive. What? A swap? Dude, this thing is so far out there. Like, I can't even hit it with Mavuika's donuts, jeez. Mega burst animation lasts so long that Tilali will reapply cryo. That is true. That is true. Man, this is rough. Honestly, if I still like if it's gonna take me any longer before I'm able to decide what artifact set to put on Titlali, like eventually I'll just stop caring about it and I'll just put whatever on her. In fact, honestly, I would be sort of relieved. Some part of me would be relieved if I eventually conclude that I can't run Sitlali on TTDS, because it would make it so much easier for me to build her ER requirements, because I would just put Fav Codex on her.
怖いかそれとも恐怖を抱く勇気すらないか私と打ち合うこの燃え上がる炎で少しはまともになってきた闇来たる破滅の時のカウントダウン開始いいだろう私に挑む資格を認めてやるやあ
I don't know if I'm cooking. Maybe I'll test and show you a recording. Do you have Sitlali? By the way, so obviously it's gonna be melt, right? If you run her with Sitlali. If you run Mavuika with Sitlali. So, as far as I've seen from footage, Sitlali's off-field AoE cryo app doesn't seem to tick very fast. So with that in mind, should you not just donut spam on Mavuika anymore? Like, would that be the absolutely wrongest, the wrongest thing to do? I will have Sitlali. Okay. Alright, man. Yeah, because, like, I was kind of thinking, especially because it's melt, right? And that's forward melt, not reverse melt. Doesn't matter, you will never vape everything. That is, yeah, I mean, obviously, because, like, ICD and stuff, but, like, at least, like, especially when I run her with Yelan instead of Farina, at least, like, what I can do is, like, I could do 2 donuts, and then I can just dash into charged attack. Because, like, when you hold left click to do a donut on Mavuika, so apparently, like, part of it is, like, she does a normal attack at first as well. So, like, when you as long as you cancel your donuts, as long as you stop doing, like, you let go of your donuts and you dash, at least you dash, and then you hold left mouse button again to do donuts again. So it will actually proc Yelan's barbs. So I can reasonably maintain Hydro app on the enemy. And I understand I'm not vaping every donut. I'm vaping like every 2 or 3 donuts, I believe, because of ICD. But, like, because I don't need to proc anything with my normal attacks anymore, if I was running Sitlali, then I wouldn't feel the need to do, like, the animation cancels anymore if I was running Sitlali. And therefore, I would most likely just be spamming donuts on Mavuika. C dash N1 is best, but like it doesn't matter if you if you donut. You could try practicing one donut dash N1, but I don't know how much effort you're willing to put in. No. I recently learned about that combo, about the whole like donut dash NA donut. I don't remember. Oh yeah, that's right. So it was last night, I believe, or 2 days ago, when I was just bored, so I just did Abyss. I just did a run of Abyss, and I was like, huh, let's try it. And like I put in like the minimum amount of effort to try to do the combo. I tried to do it like twice, and I was like, okay, well that didn't work. I tried it again. I was like, okay. I just gave up. You don't need to care so much. The melts you hit are so big that it doesn't matter. The important part is to just melt the initial burst. That is true. That is true. And like I was just wondering like how much I was losing. Judging by like how much damage Mavuika does overall, especially if it's like a really highly invested Mavuika, you know, like C2, C3 Mavuika. I'd probably be losing quite a lot, but like C0 R1 or C0 R0 or C0 R1, probably not enough to make it so that you should care about it. You're losing a lot, but it's like imagine scoring 150 out of 100 and you lose 40 points. You still have 110 out of 100. That is true. That is true. And I think that is the point of Mavuika being like having the multipliers that she has, is because like they gave her the multipliers she has because like it allows you to just not have to like play 100% optimally every time. Oops. Oh, I almost got hit by that one. Oh boy. Energy. Energy. Thank you. Oh my god, why are these guys constantly just moving away from you? Even the king. Yeah, anyway, did I finish that sentence? The last sentence I was thinking of? So anyway, yeah. I guess that is the point of them giving Mavuika as much multipliers as they gave her. Is that so because she does so much damage, it just makes it so that like, it makes you feel like, well, she does a lot of damage anyway. So I don't need to care about doing the most optimal rotations every single time. I guess maybe that was the point of Mavuika. Why Mavuika has so much multipliers. Anyway, why don't we address the title of the stream? Yeah, why don't we address the title of the stream finally? Is Emilie worth it? Is Emilie worth pulling for in 2025 while she's here?
武器を捨てろ動く
Didn't see the title. That's most people on most of my streams. Yep. Dude, honestly, no. No. The only reason why anyone should ever pull for Emilie in 2025 would be if they really like Kinich.
影のカラスが法の裁きを受けてこい武器を捨てろ
Oops.
Kengen.
答えなさい
Yeah, if they really like Kinich, then sure. Why not? Alright. Right now it's getting late now. I'll be going to sleep. Sweet dreams. Alright. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, Ali. Take care, man. Take care. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone. Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, good night, Ali. If you're at a stage where you fulfill every niche, she's great. If not, there are better... what? Umbrella options?
これは必要な武力だ武器を捨てろ
What the heck is an umbrella option? Like the stream, guys. Hey, cheers, Lily. Appreciate it, man. Is Mavuika a better substitute for Diluc? Substitute for Diluc? I'm sorry. Relio? Yeah, Relios? No. Diluc is like... Man, is there a... What? Wrong. Help me out here. Help me out. Is there... Like, give me a word. Help me come up with a word that describes what Diluc is to Mavuika. Sorry, Relios. No, Diluc is unusable in 2025. Diluc is just unusable in 2025. So Diluc's like old like the one of the most common characters that you would have paired Diluc with back in the day was Xingqiu and Bennett. And Xingqiu and Bennett are way more useful in 2025. Like they're actually, well, Xingqiu not as much anymore. Like Xingqiu used to be considered like a top 4, top 5 characters, like including 5 stars back in the day, before Yelan's release, before Farina's release, before Fontaine. Not as valuable anymore now, but still very, very valuable. And Bennett, despite Iansan's release, still as valuable as he's always been.
無事今日の
Mavuika is definitely not a better quote unquote substitute for Diluc. No, she's not, literally not a substitute for Diluc. She is literally what Diluc would have been if Diluc was released in 2025.
私の瞳をじっと見つめるのはやめた方がいい。
Mavuika is you and Diluc is Timmy. You bully him and he can't do can't do anything about it. Yep. That is a pretty good way to put it, actually. Mavuika literally drives circles. Mavuika can literally drive circles around Diluc. I tried really, really hard to make Diluc work, man. I even triple crowned my Diluc on my first account. I really tried. And yeah, it's just not in the cards. Because, like, here's the thing, right? Even before Mavuika, we had Arlecchino. And before Arlecchino, we had Yoimiya. And I'm not even saying that Yoimiya was like a very strong pyro character. I'm just saying all the pyro characters that came after Diluc that were much stronger than him. So okay, Mavuika, and then at some point we had at some point in the past, going back further back into history, is we got Arlecchino. Before that we got Yoimiya. Before that we got Hu Tao. Before that before that we got what was her name? Hang on. I can't think of it. Yanfei. Before that we got Yanfei. Yanfei's a 4-star. And yet Yanfei out DPS's Diluc. And before Yanfei, we had Klee. Even Chevreuse is a better DPS than Diluc. And even before all of that, before all of the characters that I mentioned, we already had Xiangling. He better be good, because I got him because I lost it. Oh god, Relios, man. I hate to be a bear bad news, man, but I think you're just gonna have to suck it up, man. I think you're just gonna have to suck it up. That was a 50-50 loss. You got a standard 5-star character. That is what you got. Which means you will probably never ever build him. So, no. Here's the thing. Okay. Alright, here's something funny, but something to like show you the scale of how insignificant Diluc is in the as a damage dealer in 2025. If you run C6 Bennett, right? Like if you're Bennett to C6 and you're Xiangling and what's her name? Where is she? Chevreuse. So Wrong mentioned Chevreuse is a better DPS than Diluc. I don't know what he was talking about, but when he mentioned that, what came to my mind? What came to mind for me was Chevreuse, but you level up her normal attack talent. You level it up to 9, and you run her with C6 Bennett and Xingqiu. And you literally just spam charged attacks. Like, you normal attack and then do a charged attack. Normal attack, do a charged attack. Normal attack, do a charged attack. You will do more damage that way than if you tried to play Diluc the way he was intended to be played. Oh, dude, I gotta mention Xiangling, because, like, even if you don't use Pyronado on Xiangling, even if you just... Even if you just use Xiangling, like you level up her normal attack talent, level it up to 9, give her C6 Bennett, give her Xingqiu, and just do normal attack, charge attack, normal attack, charge attack. Use her like you would Hu Tao. Your Xiangling will still do more damage. I mean, oh, he's level 80. Oh, God. Relios. I'm sorry, man. He's a standard 5-star character. That's all. Yeah, it's like, what else am I gonna say? He's a standard 5-star character. He's just, yeah, that is what he is in 2025. He is a standard 5-star character, and there's nothing we can do about it. Have you seen DPS Chevy? Are you talking about like what I just said? Like C6 Bennett, charged attack, Chevrolet? What kind of DPS you mean? Oh man, I just realized I haven't seen Xiangling in her old skin in a long time. It looks so plain. Yeah, I like her in her new skin. Well, it's not new, but like her newer skin. If you don't mind, wrong, just DM it to me. It's late, and I gotta get to bed. I know this is definitely one of my shorter streams. How long we've been going? Yeah, literally just past the 2-hour mark. But there really isn't anything for me to do, right? I guess there is the event. I could do that. But it's also really late right now, so I don't want to. I wanted an Electro Sword character like Keqing. Oh, Relios, dude. No. No, you don't, man. You do not want Keqing, man. So remember, okay, I don't know how long you've been playing Genshin, Relios, but way back in the day, oh hey, welcome back, Wayne. Way back in the day, everyone used to consider Diluc a top tier character. Like he was top of the meta 5 years ago. And Keqing wasn't top tier. I mean, like back then, people did often consider Keqing to be, oh, she's the second strongest DPS in the game, but reality of it is, no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. And my first 5-star was Keqing, and I tried for so long to really try to make Keqing do good damage, and just didn't work. Just wouldn't work at all. Hey, what's up, how's it going, man? Show that clip. Should I even show it, huh? Should I even show that clip? Hang on. Okay, here it is. Alright, so this looks like... Okay, overload. Yeah, there she is. There she is doing charged attacks. Yeah, dude. Right, like seeing like I don't know. I didn't know how much were her charged attacks doing. Like, dude, she is literally doing a significant amount of damage. Diluc would dream about these numbers. Diluc can only dream about these numbers. Alright, well, that is sure. Oh wait, what? I just realized my text thing is still on the screen here. Nobody said anything. Okay. Well, alright, that's I'm sorry. You know, you came at a bad time, man. I literally was just about to get off the stream. I started really late today, and there really wasn't anything for me to do in the game, just weeklies and stuff. Dailies and weeklies. And nothing else. Just, I guess, a lot of yapping, but that's it, really. Again, to address the title of the stream, no, Emilie is not, in fact, worth pulling for in 2025. The only time she would be worth pulling for is if you really like your Kinich and you want your Kinich to have the best possible team that Kinich can have. And that you don't actually care about getting the most numbers from how much Primogems you're spending. Alright, well, anyway. So that is it for me for today, guys. For those of you who need help building your characters, accounts, or making a decision which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description on all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in YouTube chat. If you want my personal opinion, you can ping me over there. My name is Elvis Einstein. Of course, you can ask for other people's opinions too. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. Alright, dude, today was fun. Yeah, today was actually, I kind of like this stream. This is like a rather casual stream. It was a little frustrating at the very beginning because like that stupid Natlan Dragon weekly boss was just so annoying. But otherwise, yeah, it was chill. It was a pretty chill stream. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you for helping me make a very chill stream today. Bye.